So today, patch day. It did bring a few changes, as you can see already. It now lists the game in single player, multiplayer, just to emphasise the fact that there is a single player option if people want to play it. Previously this was just listed as the Chronicles for these, and you'll probably recognise them from when I first did them. The Quartermaster
New stuff in today.
is pretty much the same as before, except he's now got launch tubes on the end. They seem to have also raised up all the graphics as well. They stand out a little bit more. They're a lot higher, so you have to look up rather than like looking all down before like you did before. Other than that, they've made this dude's like face a little bit more, I don't know, unique, I think would probably be more accurate. I also noticed today that based on your current rank, you look on the head model, it looks like a dove or something on one side on this side, and then on the other side it's actually my current rank, which is a cool little thing. I don't know if that's always been there, but I just noticed it today. One other cool little thing that they've added is under the hangars now. So you got your fighters, your heavy, your legendary support. Let's go to fighters. So I've unlocked all the way up till... I've unlocked up to the displacer now. So I can actually craft it, although I don't have enough money at the moment, which I probably will do by the end of the night, maybe. So you can now see ships that you haven't earned yet. So I can see the Sentry here, like a little outline, so you can see kind of the shape of what the ship is. At least you can now also see the weapon system that they use, pulse cannon, hit track missiles and mines, for example, on this ship. And you can also see the stats for the ship, so firepower, armor, shield, speed. And this little cool little tool on the end allows you to compare one ship to another. So I've selected the Sentry, and I can pick any other ship here now, and say I want to compare it to the Wraith, the first ship you get. So the Sentry has a little bit more firepower, but the Wraith has more armor. You can see the loadout is different: pulse cannons versus Gatling guns, head-tracked missiles, mines, ECM as countermeasures. Those are nice little features, so you can kind of compare the two ships side by side. Pretty useful. Just seeing, you know, you're used to flying a particular ship, see if there's anything else out there that's actually useful for you. It's also nice to just kind of, as you're going through, you can see underneath the name, top here there's several dots. So you can see on the Sentry the dots aren't filled, but on these other ships the dots are filled, and these are the upgrades for the individual ships. So you can see which ships you actually already have upgraded. So I have the Aegis I haven't actually upgraded. Apparently that was buffed a little bit today, so the main weapons on it is the flak cannon, which you actually get on some of the heavies. It's a really potent weapon, but it was previously not doing the greatest amount of damage. It was more like a firework. You got a pretty explosion in space, but it wasn't doing the greatest amount of damage. So no doubt I'll probably try that sometime in the future and see how it looks, and if it's a lot better, well, no doubt we'll give it a go on one of the streams. So the Ascent, the Spur, I've unlocked one of the upgrades but not the other, and the Displacer I've unlocked today, but I can't yet afford it. I can't afford it because of another cool little thing that they've done. I'll go back to the Quartermaster and go back to the launch tubes. So previously, if you wanted to have a launch tube in the game, that is a choice of another ship while you're playing. You had to rent a launch tube before the game started. You could rent it for one game. I think it was 1 game, 5 games, or 15 games maybe, off the top of my head. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter anymore. And then you'd lose it after that amount. So you then have to buy them again, you have to rent them again, and over and over and over. It became a little bit annoying because if you play, say, the 15 games consecutively, you kind of lose track how long you've been going for. So by that time that 16th game rolls across, the only notification that you had that you didn't have the launch tube anymore was the fact that when you loaded into the game you couldn't choose the ship anymore. So it was a little bit annoying. So with this patch, they introduced that once you had reached particular ranks, that you was able to purchase a launch tube instead. So I'm now at rank 31 and I have access to purchase all 4 launch tubes. Now I haven't got the last one because quite frankly I haven't got enough money. I haven't got enough money to upgrade all my ships yet, so it's kind of a work in progress. I need to decide whether I'm going to, for example, purchase the next fighter or if I'm going to purchase another launch tube. 3 I think is enough. There's like 3 main classes of ship: support, heavy and fighter. So I think the 3 choices of ship normally is pretty good for diversity in the game. Normally if you find something that's not really working for you, sometimes just mixing up what ship you're flying in the battle can sometimes change the way the dynamics of the fight, so you might end up enjoying something else a little bit more instead.